All of the maximum field of 19 are loaded, and they jump away. Neski Shirelski a little slow, close to the inside. City Burglar also roused it along. Wide out, Highland, Bling and Gallantly are trying to move forward. Gaspar de Lemos and Assailant are over there, closer to the inside running rail. They make their way through the first furlong. Is City Burglar, who responded to the riders' urgings to go forward. Trying to find a way in is 410 Fever, who is just on the back of Cambu early on. The Royal Runner, Gilded Water, is very lit up amongst horses. Scarlet Sleeves in about 7th or 8th, and a few of them very keen on the descent. Struggling slightly was French Duke, just lost his action bracing on the outside for a moment or two. So City Burglar and Highland Bling are the first two to show, with Gaspar de Lemos on the outside of Cambu and Warder Jamila racing in 5th. 410 Fever from Assailant, who hasn't really been able to get in from that wide draw, with Gilded Water just ahead of Naval Force, who races in mid-division. Also in that little group is Poniros. Shanti's quite well back in the field on the back of East India Dock as they make their way down the side of the racecourse and continue their progress. Go Daddy is in that little bunch as well, as once again just a little bit of a schmozzle in midfield. It's been quite a rough race this, as several have struggled to get a position. Towards the back at this stage, Autumn Winter going the distance. Neski Shirelski is towards the back in company with Persica. So they're making the long steady climb up from the foot of the hill. Gaspar de Lemos on the outside of Highland Bling, with 2 lengths back to City Burglar. Warder Jamila next with Cambu, and wider out Gallantly. Next wave is Gilded Water, the Royal Runner on the inside of both Assailant and also 410 Fever. French Duke makes ground out wide. Shanti shadows that one into the race as a view from the back, just try and get a position as they'll turn into the straight shortly. Going the distance race is next, just ahead of Persica, and still at the back is Neski Shirelski. Gaspar de Lemos, first to commit round the home turn, has the lead. That lead is just over a length from City Burglar. Highland Bling weakens quickly as into 3rd place goes Gallantly. French Duke round the outside in company then with Assailant. Even wider out is Poniros, and Shanti widest of all. Gaspar de Lemos leads City Burglar up the home straight. Now breaking cover is French Duke towards the inside. Warder Jamila. Assailant comes on strongly. French Duke on the outside, beginning to stay on and come and challenge Assailant. Gaspar de Lemos is still there, going the distance on the outside. Neski Shirelski towards the inner. Go Daddy trying to chime in as well. Going the distance, Unleashed on the outside. Inside Neski Shirelski. Then Gaspar de Lemos going the distance up the centre. Neski Shirelski on the inside. Go to the line together. Going the distance. Maintains his winning streak and wins the King George. Neski Shirelski 2nd, Go Daddy 3rd, 410 Fever, Autumn Winter. Gaspar de Lemos gave a bold sight. Just running out of pump was French Duke. Behind those was Assailant. Shanti never got on terms. City Burglar dropped out. Warder Jamila, Poniros, and all the way back to the likes of Gallantly. Going the distance, sweeps round the outside. He came one way. Neski Shirelski came from the back up the inside route to get the verdict by half a length and make it 4 on the spin. A win for Rossa, Rafe Becckett in the colours of Mark Chan. 3rd will be Go Daddy. 4th, 410 Fever, just ahead of Gaspar de Lemos. Then French Duke, and behind those Autumn Winter. It is going the distance. Beaten on his debut, but unbeaten in a streak of 4 since then. Came from the back of the field and ran to victory in the King George.
They talked on the opening show about a high draw, and the King George V is no disadvantage. 18 wins it from another high draw in 2nd as well, and Ruby with his analysis is going to have a load to pick out here. They went quick, it was rough, going the distance, stayed the distance, Francesca.
Yeah, that was his 4th straight win. He is a progressive horse. He like you said, came from a wide draw. Be interested to see where he did come from, because they went a pretty quick tempo up front, and he's not riding the horse, but the biggest celebration on the course came from Frankie Dettori, who's good friends with the owner, Mark Chan, and it was just at this point that he had to keep winding up. He came all the way down the outside. For a moment I thought Neski Shirelski was going to get out the rail, but he kept a sustained run.
Yeah, he's come from way back in the ruck. It was so rough down the back, wasn't it? And Ross has just had to be super patient. You know, you can't normally give away a massive amount of ground. Love to see the run back, to see how late it was in the straight that he's finally edged out left-handed before he unleashes that run, because there were 1 or 2 were very deep on the track.
It was a great paddock pick from Johnny Murta. We'll get your thoughts in a second. Here's Frankie celebrating in the paddock, but we can head out and hear the reaction from the winning jockey with Rishi.
And here is Rossa Ryan with a smile on his face after that performance. Rossa, I imagine that must have been some thrill for you to win in that style.
Oh, beautiful. I think the biggest applause has to go for the lads in Kimpton. They've been dead brilliant, and fair play to Ray. He plotted this lad all year. You know, there was a question mark on the ground, but he did a nice bit of work last week, and we were all hopeful he'd run a big race. And to get a winner for Mr. Shannon and his team, and you know, it's hard starting to get on some of the horses Frankie was riding and try and do something with them. So to get him a Royal Ascot winner is brilliant. Especially, I was a bit sick going home last night, just getting touched off in the Hung Cup, but it's mad what 24 hours can do.
What was your viewpoint like, your vision from the back of the field heading for home?
Not very well. I got shuffled out turning in. He's very gutsy, and I was around Ryan and Jim, who Late Money came for, and I could see where David Egan was, and I thought Tom would be kind of lurking in the wings there somewhere. And to be fair, he picked himself up at the top of the straight and he kept galloping for me, and he had a little look around when he hit the front, but I think he's done it well. He should go on, and I think when he gets on softer ground again, he'll be better again, so we'll see.
Well, Rossa mentioning the team. Alfie, well done. He's not very tall, but he's quite sizable. What's he like at home?
I mean, he's just a pure gentleman, and he's just lovely, you know. And he's an absolute pleasure to deal with. I mean, I couldn't ask for it better.
It looks like we just knocked the microphone out of Rishi's hand there. He might trot up to catch up with the team. Come, Rishi, back to you.
What a wonderful moment. That's going to make the closer. Alfie, we're assured of a place at the end of the meeting.
Brilliant, thank you.
I was just going to ask about what a day like this means for you, and as Rossa was saying, for the team.
Oh, it means everything. I mean, to me and the whole team at home, you know, it's just lovely. It is brilliant. And, yeah, you know, I'd like to thank everyone at home as well as, you know, Rossa and Rafe and people like that. They're all just brilliant.
Excellent. No damage done to microphone or to Alfie. Well done to Connection.
Frankie.
Please report to the sound department, Mr. Prasad. Might get Toddy and VT to just spin that back and see what happened once the winner has come in. Here comes Going the Distance, who's won the King George V for a second time for Rafe Becckett. Won it with Surefire, this time for Mark Chan, the team that have Kinross in the big race on Saturday. Well done to Rossa, who wins for a fourth time at the Royal Meeting.
Well done, well done. Good job, good job.